Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Very exciting to be here at CeBIT today. And today we push the button and we are now live and up and running for everywhere venues. So, exciting moment. I'm sure a lot of you know how that feels when you decide you're actually going to go live and it's good enough for the world to see you. So, exciting moment. So, it's very exciting to be here and sharing this at this event. Exciting day for us. So I'm here to talk to you today about Everywhere Venues. Everywhere Venues is a new online marketplace to help people be who they want to be, do what they want to do, because the perfect space makes all the difference for them. Whether it's you running your business, having a wonderful event to celebrate your family, doing whatever you need to do, we've got the space to make that possible. So some of you might have children. Does anyone here have children? Yes? Has anyone ever said to their kids, come on, let's go do something, and they said, there's nothing to do here? Yes? We live in a country town called Bathurst, and like lots of regional centres, people will say, oh, there's nothing to do here. That's not true. There's plenty to do. We just need to find out what's available. And that's exactly why we've built Everywhere Venues, to help the parents of the world entertain their children on a weekend because they can find out what's available right where they live, so they can have fun and be together. So, Everywhere Venues, let's get started. So, Everywhere Venues is the new place people go to find the spaces they need. And it makes venues more accessible, it makes them more profitable, it makes them better utilised, and this is really important whether you're a university with 1,000 venues or if you're a small business with an empty boardroom. We all need to get the greatest value out of our physical assets, and we need to bridge that gap between our wonderful spaces and the people who need them. So Everywhere Venues is designed to be really simple, really powerful, and quite versatile. So if you're a university with 1,000 venues, you can put all of those venues up on our platform. You can manage them with your different work teams across different campuses, and Charles State University has been our test client for this platform through the Jobs for New South Wales MVP process. And we also have Sydney Olympic Park Authority looking at how they can make better access for their venues on that site, and local councils as well. But it's also really simple, so that if you're a parent who's part of a P&C committee and you run the assets in your school, you can make those venues really accessible, and the volunteers don't need to be handling the money. You can accept live payments online, it does all the invoicing for you. You don't need to have a team of volunteers handing you cash anymore. So we're making it really easy. This is a scalable, on-demand, pay-as-you-go system, and it's a really great way for people to find the spaces they need. The customer-facing directory has 360-degree images of spaces. It's got a lot of accessibility information. As some of you probably know, the inclusive tourism market last year in New South Wales was worth double the inbound Chinese tourism market. And so if inclusive tourism is worth so much to our economy, how much is this sector worth when people are just staying at home and engaging in their own communities? So accessibility is a priority for governments at all levels. It's a priority for people as we've got an ageing population, and we're really taking that into account through our platform. Our platform allows for real-time availability, real-time bookings and payments, and this is going to make all the difference for the likes of local councils, so they don't have to field endless phone calls all day about people wanting to use their spaces. So what we're delivering for our venue managers is more money and less work. And does anyone think that's a good idea? This is your opportunity for some audience participation, because this isn't TV.
Yay!
Yay! Who likes more money, less work?
Yay, me!
Come on, come on! Some feedback here.
Me!
Excellent. So we're reducing the workloads of our venue managers. They don't need to deal with all the basic inquiries that come through all the time. If a local council has a venue available in the library, people should be able to just book and pay for that venue. They shouldn't have to wait to call their local council in business hours and speak to the right person and hope that they're at their desk
to book the meeting room in the library. These community assets should be available, accessible, and people can book and pay for them right then and there. So straight away, that's a real benefit for some of these venue managers. And it collects and manages all the payments. We've heard from a number of venue managers that if they're managed by different work teams, who's taking the booking, who's doing the invoice, sometimes it doesn't happen. You know, all of this money is being lost. So this is really streamlining that process and bringing in new, reliable revenue streams with less work to actually maintain those. We're centralising booking calendars. If you've got a community asset, for example, a community hall, as there are thousands dotted up and down Australia, they're run by volunteers, they're owned by councils. There needs to be a way for people to have a centralised calendar to see when are these spaces available, can I book it, when does the community need to use it, and who's using these, so we can have transparency around how our public assets are being used. It also provides some really great feedback on the issues that these local venues are facing. If there are any maintenance issues, the person in council who might be in another village or another town can find out straight away and get onto that issue immediately. So it's a fantastic opportunity for councils to really streamline their own processes. And of course, there are other venues that will always have their own booking systems, but our platform allows them to promote their venues with all of the fantastic information that we gather, the accessibility features, the 360-degree imagery, and they can collect really qualified leads. So I know I'm a bit of an anomaly here in this event because I'm from regional New South Wales, but in regional New South Wales there's a real focus on driving regional conferencing. And we want to bring conferences from Sydney, from international places to our centres. However, event organisers do not have the capacity to come and do a site tour. So having 360-degree imagery of our conference facilities in regional New South Wales is going to make all the difference between the most lucrative tourism market coming to our community or not. So it's a real priority, and this venue platform makes it possible. But what about the locals? If we're getting all of this tourism income coming into our venues, if we're making community assets more accessible and it's bringing more revenue, but what about the locals? Are we taking facilities away from them? No, we're not. We're actually helping people to discover what's available in their own towns, make it easier for them to book and find them, pay for them online, and provide real transparency around how these venues are being used, so that you can be sure as a community that your spaces are being used in a fair way. You can see who's using them, how often they're using them, and it will also help guide decision making about what assets are needed in the future. So everybody loves data, particularly at CeBIT. Does anyone here love data? Thank you. Thank you, audience participation man. It's not TV, thank you. But it's really important, particularly as we've got an interest in smart cities, that local councils know who's using their assets and how often people are looking for different types of venues, who's using them, what are they being used for, how much are they earning, and it'd be really interesting to find out, if you're from a local government agency, if everyone using your venues is actually outside your local government area. And if that's the case, do they need to be provided for free? Or should they actually be paid venues with the option to make them available to locals? Because it's not fair for ratepayers to pay for someone else to use their assets. And this platform makes that really transparent as well. So one final thing that we do is, because we're gathering all this really great user data, you can see who are your current customers and what other assets are they using, so that you can cross-promote and drive more business into your own venues and spaces. So our next steps. As I mentioned earlier, today we've gone live. Very exciting moment for us. We've got lots of work to do, but we've had some really great interest from some key sectors. As I mentioned before, Charles Sturt University, which has campuses throughout New South Wales, is our test client. So it's time to start rolling our platform out across their university. Sydney Olympic Park is another key test client for us, and they're using this to help monetise and promote their venues to the residents of the Sydney Olympic Park Authority local government area, and also to people organising events in their other convention and sporting venues. We currently have 11 local government organisations in New South Wales signed up for a free trial of our platform. So we'll be looking at deepening our relationship with local government in New South Wales. We'll be targeting universities, councils across Australia, and looking at how we can integrate our system into access control, because that'll really streamline the process, particularly for the university sector. You can imagine how many times university students lose their key cards. Well, this is an issue that we can help address through our platform, so they can use these spaces. And then, of course, we'll be getting ready to improve our business processes and the technology we need so that we can enter key export markets. So that'll be a focus for us over the next 6 to 12 months. And one final thing, I've just received another grant from the New South Wales Government. Thank you very much. Just found out yesterday we received a grant from Department of Community Services, in fact, to run a project that's really going to launch everywhere venues in the Bathurst community. This project's called Accessible Bathurst, and we'll be working with the NDIS providers and the local business chamber to map out the accessibility features and do 360-degree imagery of all bookable spaces in the Bathurst local government area. This is going to be a really exciting test project to see how we can make communities genuinely accessible across Australia and really test all the different types of use cases and venue types for our platform. So thank you so much for your time today. This is a really great opportunity provided by the Jobs for New South Wales team. I'm very grateful for all of your support, and I look forward to meeting some of you. We have a display stand over in the Jobs for New South Wales startup area. Please come and see us, and for anyone who'd like, I've got a brochure here now if you'd like to take something away. Thanks very much, everybody.
Yay.